Welcome to the channel, and advance Merry Christmas to you all. Before we begin, tell me something honestly. How is your Christmas preparation going so far? Decorations done, gifts planned, or stress already knocking? Let me know in the comments. Now, listen carefully, because tonight's story begins where respect ends. I was holding a tray of champagne, moving between the clusters of laughing colleagues, when I saw her, my wife, smiling, radiant but not alone. A young man's hand rested on her waist. My stomach tightened. I froze mid-step, glass trembling in my grip. She hadn't seen me. How could she? I wasn't supposed to be here. She'd told me, cold and final, that spouses weren't invited. But now, in the corner of the room, laughter masking its sharp edge, a colleague murmured something that made the blood drain from my face. She talks about her husband constantly. Yet here she is. I wanted to leave, to run away, to scream. But instead, I slipped behind a pillar, letting the tray clatter unnoticed. My mind raced, dissecting every angle, every shadow. That hand on her waist, that smile, the way her laugh lingered longer than it should. Denial whispered lies to me. Maybe it was innocent. Maybe it was a joke. But every cell in me knew better. Later, alone in my car, I replayed the scene. I could almost hear the fake laughter echoing in my skull. My pulse slowed, my breaths shallow but controlled. I needed to understand before reacting. Acting blindly was for the desperate, and I was not desperate. I started quietly. I traced her movements over the past weeks. Texts, messages, social media likes, that seemed innocent, but now reeked of duplicity. I found her phone lying unlocked once. I didn't need to read everything. Just enough to confirm the patterns I already sensed. I observed from shadows, noting whispered conversations, fleeting glances, and subtle evasions. I never let her see me sweating, calm, collected, composed. But beneath it all, my mind was a storm, turning over every small detail, calculating, plotting. Then came the proof, a DNA report, obtained methodically, coldly, like a chess player securing the final piece. It didn't lie. It never does. I held it in my hands, heart steady, stomach tight, not with fear, but with clarity. She had been hiding it. Every small omission a deliberate cut. That night, she sat across from me, expecting the usual domestic routine. I placed the envelope on the table, sliding it toward her without a word. Her eyes flicked up, confusion, curiosity, recognition, and then, the moment I'd waited for, the shift. Her composure cracked. "It's over," I said softly. Not a shout, not an accusation, just the cold truth, delivered without mercy. "Everything you tried to hide, I know," she gasped, words faltering, tears threatening. But I didn't give her the satisfaction of panic. I watched her unravel in measured silence. Every question she opened, I didn't answer. Every plea, I didn't entertain. She realized too late that the control she thought she had was gone. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. My calm was lethal. I had uncovered everything, anticipated every lie, orchestrated the reveal. She had counted on deceit. I counted on her. That was the difference. The next morning, I packed a bag. I left the envelope on the counter, along with her shattered illusions. No confrontation beyond what was necessary. No melodrama, only the finality of truth. I walked out, each step deliberate, controlled. The weight of what I carried. Not guilt, not sorrow, but the pure, cold clarity of regained power. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. The storm I left behind was hers alone, and as the door clicked shut, I felt it. The liberation of someone who had been betrayed, but who would not be broken. I had seen the deception, named it, and dismantled it without surrendering an ounce of myself. And in that quiet, deliberate silence, I knew I had won. Not with violence, not with revenge in the vulgar sense, but with the ultimate currency, truth. She would remember me every time she felt safe. Every laugh, every glance, every hand on someone else's waist. And I? I walked away with nothing but the unshakable knowledge that I was no longer entangled in her lies. Cold, detached, and finally free. The past was behind me, and the future belonged solely to me.